Astronaut Vicky's mission is to move space junk. But one day, she had a big accident. Captain Troy was not amused. "You can't blame me," said Vicky, "because you said, 'Move that space junk,' so I did." "I meant with the robotic arm, not with the laser cannon," said Troy. These sentences use speech marks to show what Vicky and Troy said. Speech marks, also known as inverted commas. They're used in writing to mark what somebody has said. It's called direct speech. There are 3 ways you can use them. Pausing speech is a way to remind the viewer who's talking, and it helps them to follow the story. "You can't blame me," said Vicky, "because you said, 'Move that space junk,' so I did." The speech is paused in this sentence. The words, "said Vicky," do this. A comma and speech marks pause the speaking, followed by a comma after the unspoken words. When Vicky starts speaking again, there are more speech marks but no capital letter. At the end, speech marks are used to show that Vicky has finished speaking. This is how you pause speech. Now, let's look at how you can quote what someone else is saying within speech. Having a character do this means you don't have to jump from speaker to speaker. "You can't blame me," said Vicky, "because you said, 'Move that space junk,' so I did." Vicky tells you that she heard Troy say, "Move that space junk." Single quote marks are used to report this, not double. This is how you report what someone else is saying within speech. If you want to write a conversation into your story, you need more than one speaker. Every time there's a new speaker, they're written on a new line. The sentence we've been reading is followed by Captain Troy's reply. "I meant with the robotic arm, not with the laser cannon," said Troy. The words for a new speaker are written on a new line. It's easy to remember as new speaker, new line. These are 3 of the ways you can use speech marks to report speech. "You're so reckless," said Troy. "You've set that planet on fire." You add opening speech marks, a capital letter, a comma, closing speech marks. There are unspoken words, a comma, new speech marks, no capital letter, a full stop, and closing speech marks. This is an example of pausing speech. "It's only a small fire, and you said, 'That's a silly planet, so why do you care?' asked Vicky." The punctuation in this sentence is opening speech marks, a capital letter, a single quote mark, a capital letter to start the speech, a closing single quote mark, a question mark, closing speech marks, and it ends with unspoken words and a full stop. This is an example of quoting what someone else has said. "That didn't mean you could burn it while I was getting lunch," yelled Troy. "Relax," muttered Vicky. The punctuation is opening speech marks, capital letter, an exclamation mark, closing speech marks. There's unspoken words and a full stop. And a new line for the new speaker, Vicky. Her speech starts with opening speech marks, then a capital letter, a comma, closing speech marks, and it ends with unspoken words and a full stop. This is an example of new speaker, new line. Which sentence is punctuated correctly? What's going on up there? Interrupted Mission Control. Put that fire out immediately. You've been learning about speech marks, also known as inverted commas. They're used to pause speech, quote someone else's speech, and show a new speaker.